Hello, and welcome to A Journey to King's Cross, a Harry Potter book podcast. And we just finished up chapter 16, Professor Trelawney's Prediction. I don't know why this chapter's getting that name. She's been predicting things the entire book, it feels like, to be honest.
Because she had a real prediction. Also, cover chapter art. Why is Ron not doing that? Ron, you're an idiot. For those of you who don't remember, someone's picking up Scabbers by the tail.
This thing looks more like a skeleton. Like someone did a really bad taxidermy job on a rat, to be perfectly honest.
They looked at a rat skeleton and said yes. And then they did the dinosaur thing.
Yeah, they just basically put skin over top of the bones. And it was like, behold!
A chicken.
No, that's...
behold, a man.
Yeah, there you go. Now you've got it. My friend over here was making a reference to... What Greek philosopher was that again?
A dead one.
Yes.
Aren't they all dead?
I don't know. Was it Plato?
I think it was Plato.
Or Plato, the person who yells at Plato? I don't know.
Plato, somebody made a joke about, like, what is a man and everything, and it was, like, some skin and a couple of feet and a couple of, like, limbs and stuff, and so he took a plucked chicken and said, behold, a man, basically, is, like, the ultimate, like, get back, basically. But... yeah, we of course catch up to Harry about a week after the Quidditch match and everything, and the euphoria is still going. But yeah, everybody's got a bat in the hatches down. Basically, his exams are coming in. Nothing quite as fun and stressful as end of year exams.
End of year exams.
Magic or otherwise and stuff. I remember being stressed the hell out of when it came to those things. Of course, we're still harping on Hermione's insane schedule. We've got Arithmancy and Transfiguration both at 9 o'clock, which makes about no sense to me. Like, Transfiguration is a required class. You cannot get out of it until you fail. Like, you got to get past a certain point, and then you cannot take the class anymore. And I think it was, like, 5th year or something along those lines where they actually mentioned this sort of thing. I think, yeah, it was the OWLs. So you have to fail miserably at your OWLs and just not take the class after that point in time. So why in the world are your extracurriculars having class the exact same time your main classes at Hogwarts are?
Listen, I don't know, but you just reminded me, can we talk about the fact that there's only how many students in each house
roughly
year?
Each house has about 10 students a year, roughly. That we estimate.
So, why do we only ever hear about it being Gryffindor and Slytherin and Care Magical Creatures when wouldn't you expect to see, like, 2 or 3 Gryffindors, 2 or 3 Slytherins?
Right for the electives, it should be mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
To be fair, that's another good point.
Yeah.
Unless it's...
I've always thought that Rowling did a horrible job mathing out the amount of students that would require for a building this big. Because with the...
She doesn't know how schools work, obviously.
Clearly not. She never went to one.
Because, their elective system doesn't make a sense either.
Like, I mean, this would be a great opportunity for, like, background character building. But no, we have all of the same named Gryffindor and Slytherin students.
To be fair, I'm getting the impression that the Ravenclaws and Hufflepuffs get along with the Gryffindors fairly well, so it's basically business as usual. There are mentions, though. I think Herbology, they have that with the Hufflepuffs.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a class that they take where Ravenclaw is actually mentioned. Because it takes forever for us to get a named Ravenclaw student, more or less, outside of the opening narration of certain characters.
This book we got Cho Chang.
Yeah, I don't think there was one that predates her, though.
Oh, probably not.
Penelope.
Oh, yeah, Penelope Clearwater.
Percy's girlfriend.
Second book.
Oh, yeah, she gets mentioned.
But...
She gets, like, a couple of lines, basically, when they try to ask her where the Slytherin common room is, which... Dear God, guys, seriously?
Like, don't you guys wear house colors?
I don't think they do in the actual book. I think that was more of a movie thing.
No, they do, because they had to specifically... Oh, wait. No,
they
just had to steal larger... It doesn't mention that they had to steal specifically Slytherin robes, just larger ones, because they didn't fit as Crabbe and Goyle.
I could have sworn there was like a logo or something where it was originally the Hogwarts crest, and then it would switch over to their house.
They
on
do that in
road.
the movie.
Well,
I'm sure
I
it
was
happens
thinking their
in-
colors. Like they have a different color tie, and they have like different like.
That's just a movie thing, though.
Yeah, I know.
technically.
That's what I was originally mentioning. I wasn't 100% certain. I was just.
Yeah,
I could have
who
sworn
knows?
there was something that changed on Harry after he got sorted or something along those lines, but I could be misremembering. Because I also think they actually had their colors for their houses already before they even got sorted in the movies. But yeah, we of course get the letter from Hagrid and everything about like the appeal and stuff along those lines, and already Ron is finding out the hard way and everything that the law very rarely actually works the way it's supposed to.
Right. Hence, I mean, look, he got away with driving a car last year.
To be fair, he was a kid. I can understand them being some leniency on this, and his parents did get a fine from what I remember. So, you know, there was repercussions for his actions. I just find it wild that Malfoy's capable of pulling this crap off, considering the amount of trouble they've gotten into past things and stuff along those lines without there being any repercussions towards the animal in question. I'm just saying, like, the way the world seems to go out of its way to give Malfoy enough leverage to cause trouble baffles me to this day. If it was him bullying other students and stuff along those lines, I can understand why he'd have a little bit more. He'd have more success on it, since as far back as I can remember, teachers in school never really did a very effective job of dealing with any type of bullying whatsoever. But he's picking on a teacher. This is kind of BS.
Racism.
It's the only explanation.
Classism. I don't know.
We do get some fun tidbits about like the classes and stuff and what the exams actually are.
True.
The tortoise and the teapot thing and stuff along those lines. It is kind of nice for them to gradually improve over time and stuff and talking about their different things, because before they were struggling with matchsticks and needles and stuff along those lines, and now they're having full on like completely. This is not, these two items are like not even like one's alive at this point, so it's like they are gradually improving and everything. But to be perfectly honest, why would you ever need to turn a tortoise into a teapot?
Who knows?
At the exact same time, you're going to need to know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Every day of my life.
Clearly. Of course, we have a nice little jab at Snape, of course, marking what Harry thinks is a 0, basically, in terms of the potion stuff. I do remember reading up online, some people were commenting about how bad Harry is at potions and stuff, and all I could think to myself is, well, no wonder. He's got the freaking meanest freaking teacher on the planet breathing down his freaking neck. I don't know about you guys, but I would suck at any task whatsoever if I've got some person, like, basically, like, staring down at me, like,
Oh, the
fail,
potion
fail.
I mean, to be fair, he does mention that he does better in his potion exams for his owls.
Yeah.
Because Snape's not there breathing down his neck.
Yeah.
See, I'm just laughing. I had the joke in my head of if he was having trouble with his confusing concoction. I'm like, well, yeah, it's confusing concoction. It's confusing.
To be perfectly honest, I think there was quite a few puns and stuff, because I think he was forgetting how to make the forgetful potion last time they mentioned an exam in terms of potions class. I'm just sort of like,
How do you make a forgetful potion?
I forgot.
Full marks.
Congratulations, it worked perfectly. Yeah, I drank the forgetfulness potion in order to forget how to make the forgetfulness potion. Perfect sense. We of course get the
Who's
defense.
been dosing Neville?
What?
Who's been dosing Neville with forgetful potion?
Well, he's been forgetful his whole life. His grandmother?
Possibly.
Either that or his
Uncle.
His mom or his dad were probably drinking it regularly when they had him. That's what happened.
They were drinking the forgetfulness potion?
Hey, if having a person under a love potion could impact whether or not the child is capable of feeling love, drinking a forgetfulness potion before banging could negatively impact your kid as well.
I was going to make a joke about, like, wow, look, they got tortured into insanity. They didn't do it to themselves. What if they never did and pretended?
Jeez, that's just
They sent some
mean.
innocent people to jail. Some innocent Death Eaters to jail for that.
That's a long game of pretend, though.
You're committed to the bit at this point.
They forgot that they were doing it.
Freaking dark humor today, I see.
We are horrible people, and we are likely going to hell.
Look, man, I signed up for the first boat. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Did you save us seats?
I did.
In for a penny, in for a pounding, I guess.
You want a window seat?
I want to actually get a nice view of the place I'm going to be tortured for all
Just kidding,
eternity.
we're on a boat. It's fine.
Could be worse. We could be looking at the screen door on a submarine on the way down to hell.
No.
The torturing starts before we even arrive. Hell, very efficient. But yeah,
Actually, I'm driving the boat.
Listen,
I knew
if
you
it's a-
were a corrupting influence.
if
to
it's a
begin with.
boat, all I want is a quick death. Okay?
No, we're gonna frickin' Titanic this shit. You're
What?
gonna get...
No, you'll already be dead when you get on the boat.
I just want it quick. That's all.
You know what? No. You're gonna go down like Jack in the Titanic.
Yeah, we numb. Freeze.
And you'll listen,
numb.
and you have to listen to Rose shout your name the entire time. Jack, Jack, don't let go, Jack.
I got ADHD. I'll zone that out real fast.
That's valid.
You know, that's
Back
going to be our next one. After we're done with Harry Potter, we're going to do a Titanic podcast. It'll be fun. We'll get a bunch of books and stuff along those lines on the Titanic. We'll watch the movie every month. It'll be great.
We can make a supernatural reference. You'll have to watch at least one supernatural episode because it's about the Titanic.
You say this like this is a bad thing.
For him, maybe. He doesn't want to stare at our husbands.
Okay.
He's confused.
That's
Doesn't
okay.
take much.
For all of you supernatural fans out there, you get it.
If you know, you know.
Alright, but I want to watch the Scooby Natural episode.
Well, that's something completely different. That's on our Scooby-Doo podcast.
We're going to do that too? Awesome. I'm okay with this. I'll watch Titanic as many times as I have to if we get to do a Harry Potter podcast.
Back to the Harry Potter... You mean a Scooby-Doo podcast?
Yes.
Back to the Harry Potter podcast.
Because we're literally doing a Harry Potter podcast.
But if you want to see
Who
us do
knew?
other podcasts, drop that in the comments down below.
But we finally get Hermione's Boggart and everything, with Professor McGonagall saying she failed everything. I think Ron made a comment about this during the original introduction of that everything. Or, no, it was a paper with full, a failed paper or something along those lines.
Oh, her?
Yeah, for her
Yeah,
Boggart.
her Boggart.
Ron may have the emotional wherewithal of a teaspoon and stuff, but he's got his friends and his future wife basically pegged in terms of their behavior and what their greatest fears would be.
Is he pegging his wife now?
I feel like that would technically be reversed, but you get the idea. But yeah, I do like the fact that we do actually get like that Harry basically getting full marks and Hermione not being super successful at something. Both rare occasions, to be perfectly honest.
Very true.
We of course get Cornelius Fudge and stuff, and I do love how like Hermione and Ron are just sort of like, we're not on speaking terms with the Minister of Magic, and Harry's just sort of like, yo.
Yeah, they're not on speaking terms. Don't look at him. Don't talk to him.
Yeah, you might catch whatever the hell he's got is.
The idiocy?
Yeah, I do like how Fudge starts off as a relatively incompetent buffoon, but a well-meaning one to basically a complete and utter ass. Kind of reminds me of some other people that may or may not be in the public view.
I was just thinking that and how I could reference...
I would rather have Fudge.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'd rather have Fudge.
When Fudge is an improvement, you know you're fucked.
I would even rather have Book 5 Fudge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. But we get, of course, the disposal and stuff along those lines. And I like how Ron actually finds his nerve about the appeal thing and stuff.
Hermione's just like, shut
He's like, Ron is like dead set on this. He's like, it still might be getting off and everything, and it's just sort of wild that all the adults have just accepted the fact that this is going to happen, regardless of the appeal and stuff. And I'm just sort of like, God kidding
I'm
me?
surprised that they didn't let any of the students at the appeal.
I'm surprised they didn't have them begin with. The fact that only, like, basically it's entirely, like, secondhand in terms, except for one person, who's the teacher, who you'd think they'd respect enough, but apparently not.
And the person being attacked wouldn't be a credible witness.
Fair.
But we don't even know if Draco was there.
Can you prove he was there? Can you prove he got attacked by a hippogriff?
But no, like we can't prove. We don't know that Draco was at the
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't mentioned. He mentioned that his dad was there. So the only person that had a first-hand account of it is going to be Hagrid.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Anyway, we get, of course, the whole conversation with Fudge and stuff. Nothing, like, super crazy. Hermione kind of getting on Ron's butt because of the fact that that's technically his boss and everything. And it's just sort of like, why would Ron care? It's not Ron's boss. Heck, I think technically Ron becomes an Auror for like a hot minute before heading off to work at the Weasley joke shop and stuff in terms of the future. So
Also,
it's not
even
like
in
it's
book 3, Fudge doesn't have enough brain cells to put together that, oh, you're Arthur's boy.
I'd be
One of Arthur's several boys.
Red hair, hand-me-down robes, a Weasley!
Fudge is not that smart.
He's really dumb.
I feel like they could probably insult him and he probably wouldn't know who they are in about a week. Anyway.
I mean, wasn't he the assistant to... No, he was I was going to say, wasn't Percy an assistant to the minister? No, he was somebody else.
It was Barty Crouch Sr. He
right.
was and then he ends up getting hired in during the 5th year and stuff, and is basically little more than a toady for the minister. Which I am convinced they gave him that job in the hopes that he'd still be in his family's good graces so they can use him to spy on the family.
Mm-hmm.
And when he basically cut all ties and everything, they're like, well, we can't get rid of him now.
And they're like, well, shit.
Because it doesn't really feel like they pay any attention to him or give him any respect.
No, they don't.
Why would they?
He's a brown noser. They don't care about those.
We finally finish off the rest of the exams and stuff, and we get to Trelawney's classroom and stuff. And apparently she basically, like, you know, blackmails everybody into not saying what the exam's about and everything. Oh, man, it's funny.
I'll have a horrible accent if I tell you what happened.
Pretty much. You know, with your luck, Neville, you're going to have that horrible accident one way or the other.
To me, that sounds like, you say a word, you'll be sleeping with the fishes.
Trelawney's secretly in the mafia, like in the mob, basically.
Can't let anyone know that she's a fraud. And if all the students talk to each other, be like, yeah, I fucking made shit up and she believed me. That's probably what it is.
To be perfectly honest, you know, I do like that by the end of the year, Ron is basically entirely on Hermione's side on this one.
But yet, they stay in the class.
Yep, I never drop it.
I don't think... that's part of the reason I don't like their extracurriculars in Hogwarts, is... It seems like every year you'd go up a class. So even if they were to cancel this class and stuff along those lines, since they didn't have a time turner...
you wouldn't have a beginner's class.
Yeah, for an older...
So you're stuck.
Yeah. So they got no choice. Huh. They picked these things last year, basically, from their second year in Hogwarts, and they are basically stuck with these until they either flunk out or get to a point where they can just drop the class entirely. Which I personally feel is kind of like short-sighted and everything, because it's like you don't have any ability to test whether or not you're even going to like some of these classes.
Yeah. It wasn't even like, they didn't get a intro class or something.
I feel like year 2 should have been like, okay, we're going to have a couple of extra classes and stuff where you can take a look at the extracurriculars. Because they didn't replace any of their original classes during second year. They just got more classes in third year. So you'd think they would take the opportunity to send them through a couple of them. But it's whatever.
Wizards are extremely short-sighted.
Yeah, clearly. To be perfectly honest, they already think they're the peak of society and everything, so why improve on anything, I guess?
But yet, we're still doing executions the old way.
Couldn't have gotten a
The
guillotine.
killing curse is forbidden.
We're in the 1990s. Euthanasia solution is a thing. You mean you can't tell me that they wouldn't have figured out some way to create magical euthanasia solution for the animals?
The draw of living dead?
Something along those lines.
Why didn't they use that?
Because it's not as personal.
We're gonna cut off the head.
I'm convinced that's probably kept in effect mainly because people like Lucius Malfoy are sick fucks.
Yeah.
And, mostly because J.K. Rowling doesn't know how to write a book. And, you're getting a sleeping potion forever.
We're picking on her ability to write and everything, considering how thoroughly we've enjoyed the series to the point we're making a podcast about it.
Look, I didn't say that they weren't enjoyable. However, they're children's books, so the world building is, well...
subpar.
You know what? I take that back. That's an insult to other people who write children's book with good world building. Looking at you, Uncle Rick.
Uncle Rick?
Brooke Reardon. Percy Jackson.
Ah!
Right? Great, yes.
Yes, I got it!
Great world building.
I have no idea what the man's full name is. I just know of the Percy Jackson
I never
series.
know how to pronounce his last name, so he's Uncle Rick.
Fair enough.
Although I'm sure you were getting confused because your first thought was probably Rick and Morty and you were confused.
Yeah, it was, actually.
Disappointment.
To be fair, it's been a while since I've watched an episode of that. Anyway, we do have Harry talking to Trelawney during the exam, and he basically starts making shit up, basically. A dark shape and everything, and basically his mind goes to Buckbeak, of course, because that's clearly the thing on his head. And she's like, "Is it bleeding all over the place, flailing around?"
It's
like,
writhing. Seriously,
Frickin-
Trelawney?
How frickin' morbid. If it weren't for the fact that I hate Umbridge with a passion and stuff, I probably would have taken a little bit more glee out of her sacking in Book 5. Jesus, this woman has absolutely no frickin' tact for someone who's constantly telling everybody that they're going to frickin' die.
Because she doesn't give it to them nicely, like, "My dear, I'm so sorry, you've seen the Grim. That means death is coming."
You've seen the Grim!
The Grim?
No!
She's so over the top. I kind of like her personality, but if I ever ran into a person like this in real life, nope. I'm out.
Face.
I'm gone. I would have been like,
I'm out.
first day of that class and everything, I would have gone to Professor McGonagall like, "I have some serious buyer's remorse. Can you get me into a different class besides divinations? I don't care which one it is. Just get me the heck out of here."
But, not gonna lie, if I had to be told by a doctor I had a terminal disease, that'd be one way to make me laugh and not just be like, "What the hell are you talking about, bro?"
Morbid. But
I'm a vet tech.
we, of course...
Hi.
Finally get the prophecy and stuff. "It will happen tonight. The Dark Lord lies alone and friendless, abandoned by his followers."
The actress in the movie did a great job.
She did.
I'm sorry, what were we talking about? I feel like, I don't know, which reaction do you think is more realistic? Harry in the movie, where he freaks out and just leaves, or Harry in the book, where he's like, "You just said this."
No, I didn't. I would never say something like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Ridiculous.
13 years old? I feel like the book. Huh? You just said this. What are you talking about?
I do wonder how this would
Harry
have
doesn't
gone.
appreciate being gaslit.
I mean, fair. But yeah, I do like that. I do like that Harry basically completely fails the lesson, even though technically he is correct. The Hippogriff does in fact escape and doesn't die. To be fair,
Look,
he
man,
kind of
every
put his thumb on the scale a bit, but he's right.
Hey, listen, just because you're tweaking the future before or after when you predict it doesn't mean
know
your
you were
prediction
gonna
can't
succeed.
be right. Okay?
I'm just saying. Motherfucker was right. I think he should get full marks.
Oh,
To be
definitely.
fair, Ron was right in every single one of his predictions in his Dream Journal too, but he didn't get full marks.
I think they did get stood up as like being super amazing and everything because of how morbidly sad it was and how, in terms of like, that's the thing with her is she's just sort of like, if a prediction is happy and fluffy or warm,
It's gotta be death and destruction.
it's wrong. It's got to be miserable.
Death, destruction, desolation.
Listen, if you know that, you just go in there, look in the crystal orb, and
Looks like I'm going to die before I
the
graduate.
world's on fire.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Well-
Yeah, there's nukes flying everywhere. I don't know who started it.
This might be a little too extreme for her, because she did say that I would never say that the Dark Lord was returning. So it's got to be bad, but it can't be super bad, you know?
Oh, so world ending's a bit much.
Just a bit. You gotta keep it a little under control, so that way
Ah.
there's somebody else to come to her class next year. I feel like she wouldn't want to actually, you know,
Oh, no,
do
I'm
a
saying that as
prophecy
the
that would-
student
yeah.
going in to do the exam. I'm going to see in my crystal ball the world's on fire.
Yeah, we get down with that and everything, and I do kind of wonder if Harry had gone forward and said something to Professor Dumbledore or something along those lines, if that might have altered something, but I doubt it. We get Ron letting them know that Buckbeak lost, basically, and I'm just sort of like, wild, man. Like, we don't get to see any wizarding law being put to practice. And
No, the appeal was
basically a rubber stamp for the most part.
it was what is the word I want? It's just a show. That's not the word I want. It's
Dog and pony show?
basically, I mean, it's all for show.
We
They already knew what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
We of course get the comments and stuff about going and seeing Hagrid and everything, and the whole kind of retrieval of the invisibility cloak. I do like Hermione's just sort of like, I'll go get it.
How do you get in that statue?
Okay.
Okay. Walks out.
Ron's like, she's
She's
not
not.
gonna go do that, is she?
She's not an actor.
And she did.
You have the slow moral decay of Hermione Granger here, folks.
I have to go soon.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, we can skip over to the important parts and stuff, where Hermione ends up finding Scabbers
Scabbers.
basically while trying to prepare some tea for
Who's
Hagrid.
freaking out and trying to get back in his hiding spot. Like, nope, not today.
I do like the fact that, like, Ron is, like, completely back to, like, you know, taking care of the rat, basically. I do feel like he does owe Hermione an apology, but they basically just brush over that in the actual
Well,
book.
that's because they find him and then they're like, shit. There's Master. Get.
I do like how Hermione, like, Ron, like, basically goes after Hermione in a sense in the movie, where he's like, you know what, you're absolutely right. I'll
see
apologize.
Crookshanks, I'll be sure to let him know.
I meant
And
me. To be fair,
She's not
he's
wrong.
got nothing to apologize for because his complaints were completely valid and she did not take them seriously. So, technically speaking, she is not owed an apology. Crookshanks is definitely, like, in all seriousness, you know.
I would say they were both at fault. They were both stupid about it. Yes, Hermione should have taken his concerns validity, but like they were both bitches. She also could.
Ron was a bit of a dick after the fact.
Some people don't care about other people's pets. Blah 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 blah.
To be fair, Hermione does need to work on her bedside manner because that whole freaking thing with the rabbit and everything was a red herring, personally speaking. But still,
yeah,
Hermione is.
It's maybe mostly Hermione's fault, but still, Ron can apologize a little bit. But anyway,
I'd say 70.
Scabbers doesn't want to stay put.
Ron doesn't know how to hold the damn rat.
By the tail.
That's how you're supposed to hold them. Well, that's how you are when we work with them as a tech or in the lab. You grab them by their tail, okay?
Gently.
Yeah.
Well, you grab it, like, you pinch at the base, and then you, like, tuck the rest of the tail into your hand.
I like how
you can pick them up.
Hagrid basically has to force them out the door, basically.
Shove.
And also, you can scruff a rat.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a wizard, but you get the idea.
They don't know that yet.
You can still scruff it.
Still sing, yeah. And of course, Ron eventually gets bitten from all of this nonsense and everything. And
Maybe a nasty bite.
And of course, at the end of the actual chapter, we have the swink and thud of the axe. Which I feel in the movie definitely makes it look like they did in fact kill Buckbeak and everything. Whereas in this one, they're clearly occupied with something else when the actual sound goes off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of this chapter. We'll start back up with chapter 17. Overall, kind of an in-between chapter, personally. There's a lot of important things that are happening, but not anything like...
Not a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
I mean, Buckbeak was murdered. That was kind of important.
Damn you, Ministry!
But yeah, no, nothing, like, there's not a whole lot going on. It's mostly the exams, the execution, and Scabbers. Prophecy, that was kind of important.
Yeah, to be fair, that does this book is kind of the turning point as the series starts getting into more darker and darker tones and themes. But our friend here has to go and everything, so plug your shit.
Bye guys, you can find me at Luna's Creation Corner on most social media.
She makes adorable work, totally recommend.
Definitely check them out. It's not like we have a dozen of them here from our kids' requests. And my husband's. But he's a kid too.
I like Pokemon, okay? Leave me alone. Hey.
I had to say it because they couldn't see it.
Fair.
Shall we plug our shit?
Go for it.
You can find me on YouTube or /FlossTube, Brandy Wine Stitches, or the rest of the socials at Hockeytown Candle Co.
I'm failing miserably at sticking to a schedule in Persona 3 and everything on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Doing better than me.
Fair point. Anyway, that will be that. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell us what we did wrong, tell us what we did right. Tell us your fondest memories of the actual book in question.
Do you want us to do any other podcast episodes? Supernatural is what I was trying to say. Scooby-Doo, Supernatural. Anything else we can discuss and divulge?
Sounds good to me. Yeah, maybe next time, if we have a little bit more time, we can go over some of the more updates and stuff on the Harry Potter TV show and stuff along those lines.
We should also touch back on the fruit snacks.
Oh, yeah, we did
we
enjoy...
don't want to do it right now. Kimmy bought us the hot Harry Potter fruit snacks. We all tried them, but I thought about it as she was leaving, so I don't want to go over it without her.
That's fair. We did kind of run out of time on that one. But for everybody who wants to know and everything...
They are good.
Yeah, I honestly kind of thought they were just fruit snacks, you know what I mean?
Normal fruit snacks are a 7. These are like an 8.
Alright, fair enough. Anyway.
Until next time, keep your wands at the ready.